Hi, this is Ajay Anand and welcome to science classes from excelup.com. In this lesson, you will be learning about reproduction in animals. You will learn about types of reproduction. Then you will learn about the human reproductive organs, about conception and development. Then you will learn about direct and indirect development in animals, and at the end of the lesson you will be learning about various examples of asexual reproduction in animals. What is reproduction? The process by which a living being produces its offspring is called reproduction. There are two types of reproduction. One is called sexual reproduction and another is called asexual reproduction. In case of sexual reproduction, two parents are involved in the process and gametes are formed. Fertilization is an integral part of development of reproduction. If you can recall about reproduction in plant, which you read in previous class, you can recall that in case of flowering plants, a flower is like a reproductive system, and a flower has two types of organ: male reproductive organ, female reproductive organs. So pollen grains, they are the male gametes in flowers, and eggs are the female gametes in flower. Similarly, in animals, you will see that there are two types of gametes. The sperms are the male gametes and eggs are the female gametes. In case of asexual reproduction, a single parent is involved in the process and there is no gamete formation. So that is the key difference. Human reproductive system. In this class, you are not supposed to learn detail about the human reproductive system. That will be in the class 10th. So you just need to know the names of the reproductive organs. So this diagram, it shows the male reproductive system. So there is a pair of testes. If you call a single one, that is the singular term is testis. The spelling is Testis, and the plural form is testes, that is Testes. So there is a pair, and the testis produces sperms. The testis produces millions of sperms. A tube-like structure comes out of testis and it goes to a place where sperms are stored. That is called seminal vesicle. Okay, and there is a muscular penis. The opening for urine and semen is common. This figure, it shows the structure of the human sperm. This is a single celled structure and it has three parts. This is head. This portion is called the middle piece, and there is a tail at the end. Because of this tail, the sperms, they are able to swim, so they can swim. Female reproductive system. This diagram, it shows the female reproductive system. In this case, there are three main organs: the uterus, oviduct and ovary. Uterus is a cylindrical tube-like structure, hollow structure. It is pear-shaped. It is swollen on the upper portion and narrow at the lower portion. There are tubes on either side of the uterus. These tubes, they are called oviducts or fallopian tubes, and there is an ovary on each side of the uterus. Okay, this is the ovum or egg of human. So this is a single celled structure. This is a cell and this is the nucleus. Fertilization. The fusion of male and female gametes is called fertilization. When the sperms reach the fallopian tubes, there can be thousands of them. one of the sperms enters the egg, and that is how fertilization takes place. So this is the egg and these are sperms. In the animal world, there are two types of fertilization. One is called internal fertilization and another is called external fertilization. When fertilization takes place inside the body of the animal, this is called internal fertilization. Mammals, birds and reptiles, they show internal fertilization. External fertilization is when fertilization takes place outside the body of the animal, and this is quite common in aquatic animals like fish and amphibians like frogs and toads. Conception. Conception is the beginning of pregnancy. Conception marks the beginning of pregnancy. So fertilization does not mark the beginning of pregnancy. This diagram, it shows various stages of development from fertilization to conception. Okay, this is fallopian tube. This is ovary with many eggs or ova inside it. Every month during ovulation, one egg enters the fallopian tube, and here the fertilization takes place. Okay, so this is zygote. Once zygote is formed, it undergoes many rounds of cell division, and a time comes when it becomes a ball of numerous cells. At this stage, it reaches somewhere near this portion. The cell development, it keeps on going, and a stage comes when this structure attains tissue level of differentiation. So instead of just cells, now tissues are also present in this structure. At this stage, this structure gets embedded to the internal wall of the uterus, and once it gets embedded, this is called conception. So zygote is a single cell structure. Embryo is the tissue level stage after conception. So once the implantation is done, that is, it sticks to the uterine wall, conception starts and embryo stage starts. Then comes the fetus stage. After many rounds of division and development, various tissues, they end up forming different organs. So hands, legs, head, all of them, they are gradually formed. So when the embryo begins to resemble a human being, it is called a fetus. Okay, so the difference is embryo is tissue level stage, fetus is when it starts resembling a human being. Gestation is the period from conception to childbirth. In human beings, the gestation period is of 40 weeks. So childbirth takes place 40 weeks after conception. In different animals, it is of different duration, and the longest gestation period is found in elephants. It is more than a year. Oviparous and viviparous animals. Some animals, they lay eggs, and these animals are called oviparous animals. Birds and reptiles, they are oviparous animals. When an animal gives birth to babies, it is called a viviparous animal. So almost all mammals, they are viviparous. So a dog gives birth to a pup, the lioness gives birth to the cub. There are some exceptions among the mammals. There are two mammals which are oviparous, and they are platypus and echidna. Now in the animal world, there are two kinds of development. One is called direct development and another is called indirect development. When the young ones resemble their parents, then the development is called direct development. So a cub looks like a lion, a baby looks like a human, a duckling looks like a duck. So these are examples of direct development. When the young ones, they are entirely different from their parents, then the development is called indirect development. And the difference is so much that the conversion of young ones into adult is called metamorphosis. So you may have seen that a caterpillar looks entirely different from a butterfly. So when the caterpillar turns into a butterfly, the process is called metamorphosis. This example shows various stages of life cycle of a frog. So these are the eggs of frog, and these eggs, they develop into tadpole. Tadpole looks like fish-like structure with a long tail, and after the tadpole undergoes metamorphosis, it becomes an adult frog. Examples of asexual reproduction in the animal world. So there are three methods. One is binary fission, then number 2 is multiple fission, and number 3 is budding. Amoeba, they are very good examples of binary fission. Amoeba is a unicellular animal. So what happens? The nucleus of amoeba starts dividing to produce 2 nuclei. After that, the cells, they divide to produce 2 daughter amoebae, and that is how binary fission in amoeba takes place. Since mother cell gives birth to 2 daughter cells, that is why this is called binary. Binary means 2, fission. Fission means breakup. Multiple fission. The plasmodium, which is malaria parasite, it shows multiple fission. What happens? The cell, it makes a hard covering around it, and this covering is called cyst. After that, the nucleus, it undergoes multiple rounds of division to produce many daughter nuclei, and each daughter nucleus is surrounded by a membrane. After that, the cyst waits for the favorable circumstance, for the correct host. Once it gets the favorable environment like food, host, and proper temperature, ambient temperature, this cyst bursts open, releasing the daughter cells, and these daughter cells, they end up developing into adult plasmodium. Hydra shows the example of budding. Hydra is a simple animal. It has a cylindrical body with numerous tentacles on the top. So what happens? A small bud develops anywhere on the body of Hydra. Subsequently, this bud grows into a size, and after a certain stage, this bud starts resembling a Hydra. So now there is a baby Hydra. So what happens? The daughter Hydra gets detached from the body of mother Hydra to begin life as an independent individual. So you learned about various types of asexual reproduction in animal world. Let me recapitulate. I talked about the types of reproduction, then I talked about human reproductive organs, structure of sperm, fertilization, then what happens during conception, then I talked about direct and indirect development in the animal world, and I talked about some examples of asexual reproduction. That's all for this lesson. Thank you.